Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video. And in today's video, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. We're going to talk about what my expectations are price-wise for Bitcoin and the crypto market. If you enjoy this sort of content, mash up that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. Right, let's get down to the desktop. Okay, so we're going to start on coin market cap here, and basically the total market cap of all crypto is up 3.49% in the last 24 hours and is sat at $1.04 trillion, and Bitcoin is at 22,752.23. We're a few hours out from the weekly close, so I think by the time we're watching this, we're going to be very close, if not already know what the weekly close is. But it's exciting stuff because we're very much of the opinion, both Nick from a technical analyst perspective and me from a fundamental viewpoint, that we are heading downtown, and we're expecting lower lows. And regardless of whether we get lower lows or not, because I don't think that really matters too much, we are going to see the reversal, and that is the point when we're going to look to potentially start buying up the projects that we want to really accumulate in this bear phase. So do make sure you subscribed and you've tapped that bell, selecting all the notifications, meaning that you kept up to date. Don't forget to jump in our Discord. Link is in the description. It's free to join. We've got over 3,900 people talking about crypto 24/7, supporting each other, navigate the space safely. So definitely worth checking that out, and it's free, so there's no reason not to. And we have our Patreon as well, so you get all our buys and our sells, and you can ask for the team to do technical analysis and all that wonderful stuff. And we do 2 weekly AMAs where you can ask us anything as well. So lots going on, but let's get into the real the real detail of what it is that makes me, from a fundamental viewpoint, believe that we're going down, right? And I think we're gonna likely see that from the weekly close. I think that's going to give us a really big indication as to where we're going. And look, nobody knows, but from a technical standpoint, it measures up, and from a fundamental viewpoint, it also tallies up, right? And when that normally comes together nicely, and that's why we look at both aspects, it's normally good news. We're normally close to being right, or we are right. So let's see how we get on. There's lots of people very, very bullish at the moment, and I don't think they should be. So Silvergate CEO sees more near-term pain for crypto, but is still bullish on Bitcoin lending. And obviously basically they've outperformed crypto peers because they've got strong risk management, that or they've just been very, very lucky, one of the two, because luck does play a little part, along with hard work and risk management. You lose far less with good risk management, that has to be said. Okay, so the bear market is sort of hitting from all corners. Digital asset industry is not over it yet, and can see some more pain over the next few quarters, according to the Silvergate company. And I think that's right. The economic landscape is not positive at the moment. You've got an issue with supply chain. You've got the war in the Ukraine. You've got the stock market, the interest rates. This is all sectors. Metal market. Bonds. All of them, right? Stock market, crypto. It isn't a crypto focused issue, this, and it's interesting, right? Because a lot of people have you believe that we've done a turn and we're going up, and I'm not seeing that from a fundamental viewpoint. But long term is very, very positive. Now, I really do like this article. I'm not going to read through it in this video, but I do think it's enlightening, so I will link it in the Discord, so do join, and you'll be able to read it there at your leisure. Now, the other thing that I like to talk about here is a bit more about I guess the economic and the macro landscape and factors and all that sort of wonderful stuff, right? And basically, Nick and myself have said for some time now that we're of the belief that the Bitcoin halving isn't really the catalyst anymore. We've kind of seen the market grow with the adoption and matured slightly. I still think we're really early, but I think we have seen heaps of adoption, and I do think the space has been growing, right? And I mean this in many ways, not as in the size, but you know that's a big factor, but also the attitude within the space. Still some work to be done, but ultimately, I think that we're more aligned to macro events, and so that kind of gives you kind of, you know, just scratching beneath the surface of how I'm thinking. Um, the reason why I think like the interest rates and all these announcements from the Fed, from Europe and the UK and various other parts of the world are really important, because I think they are impacting this market heavily, right? And it's very apparent that, you know, it's all to do with I guess how liquid you are, or you know the liquidity, rather than anything else, right? Because you know people are making sure they're liquid enough to to be safe in I guess a turbulent time, right? So you will see companies, institutions, whales, you know, big players in the space de-risking, and you'll hear this terminology a lot. And basically, they're getting rid of risk assets and they're going more to the stronger fundamental projects. I say projects, but investments, right? Um, and this is something that we're seeing with like tech. We're seeing this with various different other, you know, investment tools, right, or items. And crypto is seen as a huge risk asset, right? And I think that's why it's, you know, been heavily impacted. But I don't think we're through the worst of it, and I think, you know, there's more announcements during the week, and I think these announcements are going to impact the space. And I see the comments where people talk about, you know, everything's priced in. Well, if everything was priced in, then why do we see these big drops and big pumps off the back of announcements? It's because it's not actually correctly priced in. And I still think that there's a real chance that we can see some sort of black swan event. And I have talked about this on other videos recently, where, you know, perhaps, you know, it is Tesla selling, you know, we've seen that, and it's a very small percentage. You know, maybe that's sort of what, you know, what could have been a catalyst, but it hasn't really worked that way. You know, maybe it's a new variant of some disease that becomes that black swan event. Maybe it's, you know, interest rate hikes being much higher than anticipated. Maybe something terrible happens. Maybe the war, you know, in Ukraine spills into other regions of Europe. There could be so many different things, you know, the gas lines into Germany. There's just so much going on in the world right now that these are the things that I think are impacting the market far more than a halving that Bitcoin has. Energy prices, yeah, I could go on and on and on. And Raoul Pal has kind of talked about this as well, and it's great to see others sort of talking about this in the same sort of breath as ourselves, because we've been talking about this for some time. And he says, okay, two more charts and some thoughts, this time on crypto. Is the accepted narrative that Bitcoin halving cycles what drives BTC cycle and all crypto, because obviously Bitcoin is the leader of the pack, or is it the macro? And he's starting to think that it's the macro, and I'm completely aligned to this. And obviously, you know, he's got this chart here, and you know, for me, I think this is fantastic, right? To see this here. So we'll pull this up on the screen. The global M2. So we've got this one here, and then your total crypto market, and you can kind of see what's going on here, right? You know, the big pullbacks, a little bit of an increase. Haven't really seen that, but it's a risk asset. So, you know, I think that, yeah, we're probably, you know, accurate in this way of thinking, and I think it is about being more liquid in these sorts of, you know, phases of uncertainty. So let me know what your thoughts and opinions are. We'll see what the weekly close is saying, and whether that sort of leads us up a garden path, and whether that's the right one. The other things I would like to highlight is Audius, ticker Audio, has had an attack. So basically, yeah, we saw this price drop. I just wanted to let people know, because this is a project I did a write-up on. Quite like it. It's not one that I've invested in, but basically they've exploited the governance contract, and basically what they've been able to do is extract 18.5 million audio coins, and they've sold those for Ethereum, so 705 Ethereum, which is about 1.1 million. So I think they're recovering, and I think you can see that from the chart here. Not fully recovered, but recovering. But you know, this is the sort of stuff that I think the security sector of crypto, the cyber security or the insurance sector within the crypto space, needs to be utilized more by a lot of these protocols. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic changes. You know, again, interesting to see this sort of stuff. But, you know, we need to grow this space a little bit more. Now, one other thing that I want to talk about, we were with VeChain at the UFC event yesterday, and I'm not going to play this because of the sound, but Paddy the Baddie was talking about one of his friends obviously taking his own life. I just want to say that, you know, there's always people to talk to in the space. Nick and myself are big advocates for men's mental health, and mental health generally for everybody. But the reason why we say mental health, sorry, is because, you know, there is a stigma, right, that it's weak to talk about things that are really bad. And obviously we've got all this Celsius, Voyager, lunar sort of fiascos going on, and it was interesting being there and hearing Paddy say these things, because it really does resonate quite well with the crypto space. And I kind of just wanted to put it out there, right? Like, no PR spin here, but if anybody is feeling like they have nobody to talk to, or they are struggling, they've got this huge weight on their shoulders, I just want to say that we've got our Discord. Jump in there, DM one of us, you know, one of our team, chat with people in there. This community is here to support one another, and you're never alone, so you can always talk. And I tweeted this out earlier. I think it's really important. It's a really big deal, and things do need to change, and people need to man up. It isn't weak to talk about your feelings, and you know, if you're struggling, you know, sometimes just getting it off your chest does help. So I wanted to raise that. I thought that was a really important thing to sort of bring to people's attention. I have been sharing a charity link. I'm not affiliated with the link or the company in any shape or form. However, you know, we can donate, we can do our piece. You can just share the tweet or share this video, and hopefully that'll bring more awareness, because I do think it's a big problem, and I do think that there isn't a lot of people doing a lot about it. So let's do our bit, right? Even if that's chatting with one another and being that ear for somebody that really needs it. So just, you know, bit like of a off topic sort of piece there, but I do think it's important. So anyway, look, let's see where we land. I have a lot of capital loaded up on exchanges, ready to execute some purchases. Let me know what you're buying in the comments below. Really interested to get your views and opinions, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.